ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। 20 विविध व्यवहारस्य सद्भावेऽपि विवेकिनः सत्यायामृदि तात्पर्यं नानृतेऽस्ति घटादिके। Between these two, mud and the mud pot, though two types of vyavaharas are there. The vyavahara centered on cause the mud, certainly distinct from the vyavahara centered on effect the pot. They are different. But a viveki, who is a viveki? One who is interested in the truth. So what is true? What is the real thing? One who is interested in that, vivekinaha, tatparya, the purpose, emphasis is on what? The cause and not the effect. So same thing when applied to the sat. See, this is drishtanta. The arshtanta illustrated sat, Brahma, the sarvyapi chaitanya is the cause of the basis, cause means basis of the Jagat. Jagat world is in the place of pot. Now between these, where the emphasis has to be laid. Why you want to gain the knowledge of Brahma? Sat, that is the basis of that. Because that is your true nature. If I don't know myself, how am I going to relate with the world properly? How is it possible? I can relate to the word properly provided I know what I am. If I mistake myself to the embodiment and accordingly if I keep the relation with the world, it is not going to be correct, and in the long run it is bound to give me what? Sorrow. So therefore little viveka and what is the goal of life has to be first understood properly. If that is sorted out, then the means can be found. What is the prime importance that is to be decided first. For example, during our question answer session we had this thing, whether Vedanta or profession. Let me take one thing. In 24 hours sample analysis, in 24 hours how much time do you devote to profession? It may vary, but do you devote 24 hours to profession? Certainly not, is it not? What do you do during the rest of the time? Do you eat or not? Do you read the newspapers or not? Yes. Do you watch the TV or not? Be frank enough. Okay? How much? Just having something chit-chat people just for, like I say, that is what, you can't be all alone with you, etc. Do you do or not? Do you mean to say because you eat, bathe, clothe, read newspapers, at times you are reading newspapers may be related to profession? It's possible. A businessman has to know the trend of economics, etc., policy, etc. That is fine. Beside that, other things also do you certainly read, is it not? For entertainment, what do you do? TV, etc. Not only that, so once a year, you go to some Lonavala, Khandala, Wala or some or Simla or somewhere, you go or not? Profession is there or not? Means, what does it mean? You can do other things also, is it not? But the question is where the priority lies. Where the priority is. Why your priority is for a profession, not for something else? Let us say, taking the example of a particular person who has got priority for profession only, not like who knows Samarth Ramdas said, That is, Devakarani Lajalu, Udarakarani Kashtalu. If this fellow is asked to teach Lajalu, because he has no interest in what is that? Udarakarani Kashtalu, for the sake of stomach, Udara means stomach. For the sake of stomach is filling us, Kashtalu, he is ready to do anything. What does it indicate? Priority is where? And therefore, and their priority is not for spiritual seeking or the ultimate goal of life. So in that case, such a person, as I have seen, cannot take to straight away to the spiritual activities. First, what has to be done? Discover the value for this thing and have value orientation based on the truth. If general this comes, it means, in other words, I have no time for spiritual thing. You know, one Sharu Rangnekar, a management expert, long back once remarked in a seminar, executive, because he's executive, big companies executive. For that, what they have to do? They have to read the newspapers, magazines and such things, etc. They should be aware of all things. Don't say you don't have time. You have time for the club, you have time for the entertainment, and you have time for everything, but you have no time for this. If you say you have no time, it only means you lack priority for that particular thing. Therefore, in future, whenever suppose anyone says, I have no time for such and such a thing, what does it mean? I have no interest in that particular thing. But be careful, they will judge you also according to that. Because if you have got priority for Vedanta, they say, hey, why don't you come for a wedding, etc. You have no time, means what? That is that. So no time means lack of priority. So first discover the value and see the necessities, etc. Slowly, that once make this, what is that? God or whatever the goal of life as 1%, 1 naya paisa percent partner in your life. Okay. This God is so shrewd, in course of time, do you know what he does? He covers 100% partnership. You don't have anything left over afterward. So that must be there. All this is because first be very clear about the goal of life. That is why Vedanta starts with sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. That is reorientation of the values. That is what is very important. And afterward the person will certainly take to, that is what, this pursuit. Depending on the need, depending on the status also. That's why I said 4 gradations are there. Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. Why? So that slowly one has to be mature. Afterwards you will grow out of the necessities of this. There is no question of should I take to this or that, etc. Till then educate the mind. So priority has to be understood. That is how it is. So see, look, as far as our Shastras are concerned, our sadhanas are concerned, it is not that one way, one path as such. It is not that. It prepares the every individual from the level where he is step by step and leads to the highest. At highest level, the solution is only one. Know yourself. That's all. Know yourself, you say, or know the Bhagavad Tattva, or know the basis of the Jagat, only one and the same as such. But up to reach that level, depending on the texture of the individual, depending on the status in life and society, etc., so various sadhanas are given. Therefore, first thing of prime importance is discover the value for this pursuit. Then automatically, once the value is there, automatically time comes, is why you have to just to readjust your schedule as such, and slowly that means more and more pursuit can be taken to. Other thing, if after 72, age of 72, one has to think now, already the 1 foot is where? What is the grave? Is earning, is it so indispensable? That's what that individual has decided, because that has to see the status. Maybe one may be 80, but unfortunately the condition may be that he has to struggle. I don't say that. You have to see the specific condition. But in majority of the cases, it should be what? Not that indispensable asset. Is it not? So that was, at the same time, don't think, because only I am talking here of open eye meditation, etc., and meditation is told that it needs lot of preparation. So, because some have come, etc., I have to give something. This is, I think, I have dealt with this in how many camps? Even Drikdrishya, even Panchikarana, etc., I have taken the 3-4 camps, 1-2 direct teaching, 1 cassette playing, etc., etc. A lot of preparation is necessary. As I told, Drikdrishya Viveka is the basis which has to be thoroughly studied. Then only it can be taken to asset. So one may not be able to straight away read that. So one who is so preoccupied will not be able to take to meditation. Take for granted, Shastras also are very clear. But you can, that such a person has to take to action. Action means what? Karma. But those karmas should be what? Of different nature. I doing these for my own purpose of earning, etc., if that is the age has advanced as such, and if the need is not there, it has to be changed, because actions by themselves cannot be given up, because this person is not fit for meditation. For meditation, to take to meditation, nididhyasana, we are talking Vedanta, a certain disposition is required which needs lot of preparation. For that, in the beginning, action, karma, also is a what? Something as a sadhana. But how? Not this. I do for my sake. No. The 3rd chapter of Gita says, I dedicate to what? Ishwar. Karma yoga comes, Ishwararpana buddhi comes. In Ishwararpana buddhi also, what is the final purpose? I prepare the mind, and with that prepared mind, I take the higher pursuits of life as such. So therefore, one should know where do I stand. That's why when karmas can be totally given, only rare few can give it up. So, Arurukshor Muner Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate Yogarudhasya Tasyaiva Shamah Karanam Uchyate. A person who is not still capable of making the mind get absorbed in the Swarupa, for him the sadhana is what? Karma. But not karma, what? Not that. To fulfill my desires, etc. This in dedication to whom? Ishvara. Means you bring in the Ishvara factor there, etc. So thereby, to a great extent, you get rid of the identification with the body. See, directly or indirectly, the final purpose of all sadhanas at all levels told to different varieties of seekers is only one thing: to get rid of the erroneous identification, the embodiment, and make the mind absorbed where? In the Swarupa, which is your true nature. But all will not be able to take to that. Therefore, one who doesn't have the capacity, Arurukshoho Munehe Yogam. That what is that yoga? 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That yoga is nothing but making the mind get absorbed in the Swarupa, what is called as Samahitatva Samadhi. Till that, what he has to take to? Karma. Once that he has got that capacity, Yogarudhasya, a person who is capable of making the mind get absorbed in the Swarupa, Shamaha Karana Uchate. Shama means what? Relinquishing the karmas, giving up the karma is the karana, means sadhana for it. Asra is very clear. I have to find out where do I stand and take to what the measure is there. So that is very important as such. So therefore, first be very clear of the purpose of life, the goal of life as the human being. Is it simply khana, pina, sona, marna? Is it the goal of life? Is it that? First be very clear of that. Once that goal of life is clear, automatically our Shastra is what? It has got a wide spectrum. So, and not only wide spectrum, and specific things also are there, specific sadhanas for the specific person, one can find out as such. So, straight away don't jump to meditation. In meditation also, for example, say open eye meditation. There are many 6 means are there, out of which one of the means is that you don't sit for meditation 24 hours with closed eyes. Can you? Is it ever possible for anyone? You have to interact with the world. When interacting with the world, you are trying to exploit your interaction with the world for meditation. It's something great. Means you are interacting with the world, but you are exploiting it for what? meditation. So that is how that is one of the technique as such. It is not that open eye meditation is something. This nowadays this meditation word is very this thing, and all varieties of meditation with different prices, tags suiting to your purses are available. Don't think that this is one of them as such. Yes, this is not so. This is not the one of that is what means provided by Shastra, wherein your interaction with the world, wherein total application of the mind is not necessary. What do? You while walking, you have to have some attention, but not all attention. Suppose a surgeon is doing surgery, all attention must be there. Accounting, etc. नहीं तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. So you have all attention. Not that way. Where total application of the mind is not necessary. Many things we do mechanically, is it not? At times, at the backdrop, you are doing this. At the backdrop, what? You are exploiting that particular thing to arrive at your own swarupa. That is one of the ways. So what is important is first be clear about the goal, and then depending on my status and capacities and level or stage of evolution, take to a particular sadhana. And after, for who can give up everything, one who has got the capacity to totally get the mind absorbed, he can give everything up to say. Till then, to the extent necessary, one has to go step by step. So that's why here, that tatparya, emphasis. Because for him, prime importance is what? The basis, not that which comes and goes. So therefore, so that is, if your concern is to know the truth of the part, where your mind should be centered, not on the form and the name, but on the material cause, that is what is called tatparya, emphasis. So there, because there also, if my purpose is to know my swarupa and get the mind absorbed in my swarupa, so I have to deal with what? The basis sat and not necessarily jagat. So long as the body is there, I have to interact with the world. Even if it is a jnani who is capable of, what do you say, that is making his mind absorbed, so long as the body is there, hunger will be there or not, thirst will be there or not. Even if he is there, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, food was being thrusted in his body, because Totapuri, that means, could discover that this person is not an ordinary person. He has got some mission to serve the humanity as such, and therefore this body should be preserved. And therefore he saw to it that when he was totally lost in samadhi, some food was being pushed in his stomach. Why? So that body should preserve. Otherwise, if person is totally lost in samadhi, no body can ever continue beyond 19 or 20 days. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's body continued for 40 days as such, because it had a mission. It is divine sankalpa, Parameshwara's sankalpa. This body has to serve the mankind, so that it got preserved as such. So there, now see, food, etc. Is it not interaction with the world? Does it mean that he can't take to what? The samadhi as such? Exactly as such. So therefore it depends on the stage as such. But first have the priority based on the right the values that one should entertain. And the one thing is that because we are human, know for certain, Shastra says, human embodiment is designed for this purpose. The most fit embodiment in the entire creation, wherein 84 lakhs of species of living being are there, the most fit embodiment to gain this knowledge is human embodiment. Having gained that body embodiment, if it is not used for that purpose, it is wisdom or foolishness. Can that person be called as wise or a fool? That's why I say, Shankaracharya, while beginning Vivek Chudamani, Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. To get the human embodiment is very difficult. Have you got a doubt that you have one or not? Have you got a human embodiment or not? So that's why Kenopanishads warns. Iha ched avedit atha satyam asti na ched iha vedit mahati vinashti. With the compassion of not one mother, thousands of mothers, Shruti says, if you have got this knowledge right now here before the body falls, well done my boy. If you have not got, what is in store for you is what? Not ordinary thing. Mahati vinashti. A child not knowing what is good for that and indulging in harmful things, what the mother can do with all compassion, Sunny, please don't do that. You will come to harm. Why? The mother is interested in the welfare of the child, but the naughty child doesn't listen to it all. What can do? It will try its maximum afterwards. If that in the child something can be done, नहीं करेगा तो थप्पड़ भी दे सकते हैं, but not in other cases as such. So that means one has to grow in terms of the values, etc. Necessity has to be discovered. Otherwise, why? Upanishad says, "Iha ched avedit atha satyam asti." Means well done, very good. You have done what needs to be done. Na ched iha avedit mahati vinashti. That is why it says. So therefore, first know the purpose of human embodiment. See, heavenly embodiments are better designed for bhogas, to have higher sense enjoyment. But there are no rogas also, where in the heavens it is designed for all maja only. But in human embodiment, both higher enjoyment, not up to the like the heavenly, but something plus sorrows also are there. Why? So that this person has to have viveka between what is the real purpose of that. Except one embodiment. What is that? The embodiment in the Brahmaloka, which has got superiority over human embodiment to gain this knowledge. If that is left, number 2 is what? Human embodiment. Then best thing is where? Go to Brahmaloka, but it is very, very difficult to attain. Specific types of upasanas have to be done. And in Kali Yuga, I think that Brahmaloka upasana is beyond the means of, the capacity of anyone as such. And not only that, while doing those upasanas and specific karmas, if anything mistake is done, negative card will be punched there. You have to pay for that. So therefore Shankaracharya says, don't bother about the Brahmaloka. It is easier to gain the knowledge here in this human embodiment. So therefore we have to realize the seriousness of the human embodiment. So when that is there, automatically what happens? Priority is bound to go. For this, what is required? First of all, have Shraddha. Shraddha in what? Shastra, the Shruti, which out of compassion tells which is not possible for any human intellect to discover. My dear, this is the goal of life. Better what you do. Realize what for you have come here as the human being. So that if that is discovered, slowly value comes. Way out. Where there is a will, you know that. Where there is a will, there is a way. It is bound to come. So therefore that value has to be discovered. Shraddha is necessary. Our Shraddha is where now? Where whatever that comes in the newspaper, we have got Shraddha. Now to add to that, whatever that is in the internet, we have got Shraddha. Now, newspaper may get replaced nowadays by internet and all that. We have got Shraddha. What Krishna says, we have no Shraddha. What Rama says, what great Mahatma says, we have no Shraddha. What Upanishad declare, we have no Shraddha. That is the misfortune, and that is the misfortune of ours, and that is the influence of Kali age. This is what Kali age. Therefore we have to safeguard ourselves from all these and should have that Shraddha. See, look here. Krishna, Vyasa, all these whose very embodiment is meant for what? Welfare of humanity. Will they tell something wrong? What they have to get from that? If they don't know what is the truth, they will shut their mouth. They have nothing to get from this. They will not mislead or confuse the people as such. If those people say so, even though we have not verified, we should have that much of Shraddha in them, and that means, and accordingly we have to plan our lives. Now, Viveki. So therefore Viveki is the one who has discovered the purpose of life. What is the prime goal of human embodiment that he has discovered? And from that standpoint, what he is interested in the truth and not the passing thing which comes and goes. to the extent necessary of Vyavahara, he will deal with that. That is that. But that is not the main goal of life. So that is the case. For which now that Viveki has got Tatparya in the Mrut, that is Sat, and not the Ghata, which is Anrita. To this an example, illustration is being given in the next stanza. Ikshau rasoste rujisham cha rasam grannati buddhiman. Narjishamevam kumbhepi mrudbhage yukta adaraha. It's a tongue twister, you know. Rasaha, see, I just break the sandhi. Ikshau, rasaha, asti, rujisham. Asti, rujisham has become astrijisham. I don't know. Tongue has to do a lot of gymnasium. Astrijisham, see, sakara, takara, yakara, and ru vowel you have to pronounce together. I myself might have committed a mistake possibly. Astrijisham, astrijisham. That's what. So, ikshau rasostrijisham. So, okay, now take the anvaya. First, you can note that sandhi breaking. Rasau, avagraha is for a. Rasau, asti, rujisham. Now take the anvaya. Ikshau rasaha asti. Rujisham cha asti. Rujisham cha. Again, that is again asti. Buddhiman rasam grunati. Buddhiman rasam grunati. Na rujisham. Again, narjisham is sandhi there. Na rujisham. Narjisham. Somewhere ar has come somewhere earlier. So like no, something had come. Somewhere in the beginning it had come, no, such sandhi had come. Fourth stanza. Nargveda. 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 Like that. Narjisha. Narjisha. Not Nargis, okay. Narjisha. Okay. So, Narjisham evam kumbe api mrudbhage adaraha yuktaha. So, how a Viveki behaves, let us see. Now, before that, let us see. Would you like to Vivek or Aviveki? First settle account with yourself. Would you like to be a Viveki or Aviveki? Sure, okay. then behave properly. So, therefore, he says, now look. Ikshau, you know, ikshu, sugar cane. I think youngsters may not know what is sugar cane. Okay. So, even if they have eaten all peeled, etc. No, that was no. They will straight away drink the sugar cane juice. They will not know. Anyway, now sugar cane, what it has got? Ikshau in the sugar cane, rasaha asti. The sweet, that is what? Juice is there. But not that sugar cane is only juice, something else is there. What is that? The residual matter. So that's why that is what is rasaha asti, rujisham cha asti. That residual waste is called rujisham. So even though suppose you chew the sugar cane, you can't swallow it, gadbad ho jayega. If it's what gets stuck in the stomach, gadbad ho jayega. So and if it goes to the windpipe, end of it. So that is that. So now it says, so Rajisham also Rajisham. Actually, Rajisham, the meaning of this word is this. See, for Yajnayagas, from the Soma creeper, the Soma juice is extracted with all mantras, etc. And whatever after extracting the Soma juice, from the creeper, whatever the stuff, residual waste is there, that is actually what is called Rujisha. That is Rujisha. But here in the context, Ikshu is said, so therefore, whatever the residual waste of the sugar cane after the extraction of the sugar cane juice, that is what is called as Rujisha. Now, of course, that also can be used, but the real purpose is not that. What we want is what? Sugar cane juice. So therefore, Ikshau rasaha asti, rujisham cha asti. What is that? Only also rujisham, residual waste is there. Now, buddhiman, an intelligent person, out of these two, which one he takes? Rujisham, because more weight is there. This is light, that has got more weight. Who is buddhiman? Viveki. Viveki rasam grannati, aviveki rujisham grannati. It is implied. Unless somebody forces a full, come on, drink the juice. What have to do with this thing? Unless you have to make some compost, that is what, some fertilizer or something, it may be of use as such. Yes, it is that. So there is a particular type of fertilizer is made. Even this, what is that? Gas also, something they do it. That's okay. That's a secondary byproduct. It is byproduct. It can be used. That's okay. But primary importance is what? That sugar cane juice. So buddhiman grinati. So therefore what? Na rujisham. Buddhiman rujisham na grinati. Discarding the sugar cane juice, the residual waste is not taken to by who? Viveki, an intelligent person. Evam, in the same manner, he says, kumbhe, in the pot, api, in the pot also, mrudbhage, adaraha, yuktaha. In the mrudbhaga, why that bhaga? How many bhaga in there, the kumbha? 2, remember. 2 anshas, 2 bhagas. One bhaga is what? Mrud, which is, what was the other word for that? Adhara. Whereas the other one is what? Ghata is what? Adheya. But other one Akriti or Akara. So, a buddhiman, viveki, what does it take? Kumbhe mrudbhage is adara. Kumbhe api. Evam kumbhe api. In the case of pot also, mrudbhage, in that content, that aspect of mud, adaraha yuktaha. Adara means not respect here. Adara also is respect. Here adara means, it has also other meaning, attention. So, that attention towards what? The mrud aspect, mud aspect, yuktaha means is appropriate. For a viveki, a buddhiman, his attention on what? The mud aspect is appropriate. He is not bothered about this. If suppose this buddhiman wants to carry the water, will he make use of pot or not? He will make use. But when his purpose is to know the reality, he is not bothered about the form of the akar of the pot. His attention is centered where? On the mud. Why? That is the truth of the pot. To know this, not that simply just you pick up the words and then go on imagining something, not that. What is the purpose? That is very important. As for Vyavahara, suppose that is that, suppose this buddhiman was traveling in a train bound for Delhi. And somewhere Mathura, some near Agra station came, and he wanted to have a cup of tea. And the tea vendor came. With what cup? Mud cup. So what will he do when the tea is there? He will throw the tea and start biting the mud cup. Is he going to do that? No. It is useful. It is a cup for him. He will make use of that. But when it is, the context is, he is investigating the very true nature of a mud cup or a mud pot, attention is where? On the mud, because it is satya, not anruta. So that is what should be, the context has to be understood properly. So, adaraha, attention is what? Yuktaha. So, up to here, यथा सौम्य एकेन मृत्पिंडेन सर्वं मृन्मयं विज्ञातं स्यात् वाचारंभणं विकारो नामधेयम्. Up to this portion of 614 is discussed, and what is the gist of that Vidyaranya Muni has given. So what is that? If you know one basis mud, all mud pots or whatever that is made up of mud is what? As good as known. And all these forms are what? Vacharambanam, only in terms of word. Okay. What is the truth? Mrittika iti eva satyam. The mantra continues. Mrittika iti eva satyam. What is the truth is only Mrittika, mud only. That portion is now being explained. The Mrittika iti eva satyam. That portion of Shruti is now being explained. Ye ghatadishu mrudbhaga jnatavya adarena te. सर्वे पिराशि विज्ञाना देव ज्ञाता भवन्ति. घटादिषु ये मृद्भागाः ते आदरेण ज्ञातव्याः. घटादिषु ये मृद्भागाः ते आदरेण ज्ञातव्याः. हि राशि विज्ञानादेव कार्यभूताः सर्वे अपि एड अंशाः. कार्यभूता to be added. See, घटादिषु ये मृद्भागाः ते आदरेण ज्ञातव्याः. हि राशि विज्ञानादेव, then add कार्यभूताः. After राशि विज्ञानादेव add कार्यभूताः. सर्वे अपि further अंशाः. अंशाः ज्ञाताः भवन्ति. Also, after he, before Rashi Vijnanad eva, you can add Karanabhuta. Like this. He, then add Karanabhuta. Rashi Vijnanad eva, further add Karyabhutaha. Sarve api, still further add Anshaha, Jnataha bhavanti. Ghatadishu, in pot, etc. Ghata, then what? Kapala, that is what? Chips, broke of the broken pot. Also pitcher, pan, etc. All the varieties of pots, whatever that is made up of, made from mud. Or in all these, ye, whatever, mrudbhagaha. Mrudbhaga means that portion, ansha of mud. Because why? These have got two aspects, two anshas. What are those? One is the basis, material cause, the mud. Other is the akara, the form. So that mrudbhagaha, what should be done? Te means mrudbhagaha santi. In pot, etc. made up of mud. Whatever the mud aspects are there, te, those, adarena jnatavyaha. So, with due attention, with careful efforts, they should be known. Adarena means with due attention, with careful efforts, jnatavyaha should be known. If you want to know the real nature of mud pot, etc. made up of mud, you have to focus your attention where? Means you should know the content of it, the very basis, material cause of that should be known. Why so? Because if you know once the mud, all things you can know. That the reason is given he. Because why do you say so? Because says he, Karanabhuta Rashi Vijnanad eva. by the knowledge of Vijnanadeva, by the knowledge of what? Karanabhuta Rashi. Rashi means the mass or the heap or the multitude. What is that? That heap or the mass which is the Karana, the cause of all the effects. If you know the cause which is the mass or the multitude which cause it is there in each and every effect, Vijnanad eva, what happens? Karya bhutaha sarve api anshaha. The other aspects, see in the pot, what is the other aspect other than the mruda adhar aspect? Adheya, the akara aspect. So they are what? Karya bhutaha, which are of the aspect of the effect, or sarve api anshaha. All those bhagas, aspects in the form of the akara, the form what? Jnataha bhavanti, are what? As good as what? Known, because they don't have existence apart from the mud. If you, what you do, you totally exclude the mud aspect and focus attention on akara. Truly speaking, the akara devoid of the adhara, mud cannot exist at all. No, Swamiji, without bothering about the mud, we can handle the pot, because you have taken for granted the mud. That's all. That's why it feels that here we are analyzing to know what is the truth, which you can't take the things for granted. You have to have your attention on mud, then only you can deal with the akara. Now suppose akara, if it is independent, let us say a big pot is there. Big pot means nowadays the scene has changed. Olden days, in villages, etc., in big pot, what there, rice, etc., was being stored. Not only that, for bath, hot water, on a big, because it is not now. Hum do or hamare do. Families are joint families. Joint families means what? In each family there used to be 15, 20 members. For all that, in a small pot, if you boil the water for a bath, how much they have to say? A big pot, they used to what? Outside that also. And wood was very easily available, they used to buy. Now such a thing, suppose that that big this thing, can a child lift it? What, it is heavy. What do you mean by heavy? What you can take into account for heaviness? Akara or the adhara? Adhara, material cause. Because it is a big, therefore what? Mass of mud is that. Heavy, is it not? So therefore, no. Akara has no weight at all. Therefore what? So I can lift it. Is it ever possible? That will be practical. So that's what. So therefore, so that means if he, because Rashi Vijnana Deva, Karana Bhuta Rashi Vijnana, so that is, if you know the mud, it comprises all the different forms made from that lump of, the heap of mud. Just as that is, in the heap. Why so? Because in that heap of mud are what? Contained all the possible pots, etc. In a lump of gold, all possible ornaments are there. In a mass of iron, all possible iron instruments are there. That's all. So like that. So therefore, attention must be where? On the material cause, the mud. Automatically what happens? Effects are already included in that, because they don't have separate existence. Rashi Vijnanat Karya Bhutaha Sarve api anshaha, all aspects. Jnataha bhavanti, or they are known. Now, one doubt is raised based on what is told in the Shruti. There it was said, Yatha Somya Ekena Mrutpindena Sarvam Mrunmayam Vijnatam Syat. If you know one mud, all Mrunmayam. Mrunmayam what? How will you translate it? Not muddy. All, actually muddy is the right one, but it gives some other sense. all things made up of mud. Mud products. Mrunmayam means what? Mud products. If you know one thing, sarvam mrunmayam vidnyatam syat. All that is made up of mud is known. Some superb intellect is asking a question now. How many muds are there? Mud is one or many? I am not asking you for geological survey. All varieties of mud, that is not there. In the context of mud from which varieties of pots are made, mud is one. That's what said what? Ekena mrutpindena. By knowing one lump of mass of mud, why, if the mud is to be known, why sarvam is brought there? Sarva denotes singular or plural? Why plural is brought there? Sarvam mrunmayam vidnyatam syat. So, why that plural word sarvam is used? Pronoun, but in plural, why is it used? Mud is one, so he knows mud. Why all mrunmayam? Because akaras differ. Forms differ, but the mud is only one and the same. To comprise all forms made up of mud, sarvam is used, but mud is only one and the same in all the forms. For that sarvam is used. If some may have that doubt, so therefore Vidyaranyam brings that doubt and he answers them. Mruda aikepi sarvatvam akaraistadupadhibhihi nirupadhika vijnanat sarvopahita dhir bhavet. Mrudaha aike api तदुपादिभिः आकारैः सर्वत्वं भवति. मृदः ऐकेपि तदुपादिभिः आकारैः सर्वत्वं भवति. सर्वत्वं भवति. निरुपाधिक विज्ञानात् सर्वोपहित धीहि भवेत्. निरुपाधिक विज्ञानात् सर्वोपहित धीहि भवेत्. मृदः ऐके अपि. Even though aikya here, that means though it is one. Means though it means what? Mud is one. Upadhibhihi. Which upadhi? Mrudaha upadhibhi. If you want, aike api, further add mrudaha of the mud. Again here mrudaha, first mruda also sixth case only. So though, English you have to say though the mud is one, because of the upadhis of mud. What is upadhi here? So upadhi means limitation. In this context, upadhi means limitation or distinguishing attributes or properties. Limitation or the distinguishing attributes for that particular pot, etc., or distinguishing properties, or you can say the peculiarities of the form. The forms are different. Each form has got a peculiarity. A specific form is there. That limitation or that distinguishing attributes or properties of different things made up of mud, that is what upadhi. So that is features. Translators have given as adventitious features. Actually it is not, features is enough. Adventitious means accidental, coming by chance. It is not coming by chance. It is what? From mud by chance pot doesn't come. A pot maker has to make the mud for a specific purpose. So therefore features. So therefore you can take upadhi as what? Features. Distinguishing attributes, distinguishing properties or peculiarities means features. So therefore on account of different features or distinguishing attributes, akaraihi, in the form of what? Different forms. Sarvatvam bhavati means the word sarva is used where? In the Shruti mantra. Sarvatvam bhavati means not it becomes all. The word sarva, all, is used where? Sarvam mrunmayam vijnatam bhavati in the Shruti mantra that is used. Whereas nirupadhika vijnanat sarvopahita dhihi bhavi. So, nirupadhika vijnana, by the knowledge of that which is free from upadhi, free from features, free from distinguishing attributes of form, etc. What is that? Mud. Mud. By the knowledge of the mud, which has no upadhis, no features of pots, etc. What happens? Sarvopahita dhihi bhavi. So, knowledge of all karya upadhi, or what is limited by various distinct features, takes place. Upahita means that which is limited, or that which has got the features, or that which has got the what is upadhi? Features or distinguishing attributes. Upahita means that which has got features or distinguishing attributes. What are those? Forms, etc. So that's why. So if you know the nirupadhika, the mud free from these features, so what happens? Sarvopahita dhihi. Dhi means knowledge. Knowledge of all the karya upadhi, or what is limited by these features or distinct features, that takes place. That is how sarva is used to account for all varieties of features that abide in those products of mud. So with this sample analysis, Karana Jnana gives Karya Jnana was established. What is the analysis? Drishtanta was Mrud Ghata. But in the Shruti, three were there. Mrud, that is Mrud, Hema and Loha. For Hema, Loha Mani was there. And Karshnayasa for Loha, iron was there. Now, what was deduced or proved in the case of example of mud is extended to gold and the iron, just to complete the topic. Topic according to the Shruti. Katakadau satyabhaga buddha hemadhiya tata. Kutharadau satyabhaga buddhyante loha buddhitaha. तथा हेमधिया कटकादौ सत्यभागा बुद्धाः. तथा हेमधिया कटकादौ सत्यभागाः बुद्धाः. लोहबुद्धितः कुठारादौ सत्यभागाः बुध्यन्ति. See, in your book, Satyabhaga Buddha are there. After Bhaga, there is Visarga, it has got elided due to Sandhi. Again, Buddha, actually it is Buddhaha. That Visarga is Lopa there because of Sandhi. Also, second line also Satyabhagaha. It is not a mistake, but it is Sandhi, but we should know what the original word is. Loha Buddhitaha Kutharadau Satyabhagaha Buddhyanti. Tatha, in the same manner, what? As in the case of Mrudghata Drishtanta, in the case of illustration of mud and the pot, in the same manner, Hemadhiya. Hemadhiya means by the knowledge of gold, the mass of gold, knowing one, the gold, the material cause of all golden ornaments, that by Hemadhiya, by the knowledge of gold, Katakadau, in the Kataka, bangles, Adi for armlet, rings, all golden, chain, all golden ornaments. So Katakadau, in the bangles, etc. Satyabhagaha, Satyabhaga means Satya Anshaha. So Satya means Adhara, the material cause aspect. So Buddhaha are known. So means if you know the gold as one material cause, all the material cause aspect in all the golden ornaments known. Not only that, other form aspect also is known. The second one is loha buddhitaha. So by knowing the loha, the iron, whatever. Kutaradau, in the products of iron, kutara means axe. Axe, nail cutter, all varieties of things made up of iron. Satyabhagaha, the true, that means the truth aspect, the satya aspect, satya ansha are what buddhyanti are known. Now, the next question is like this. In the Chandogya Shruti, 3 examples are given. Mrut, Lohadi, Aneka. Aneka many means more than one, more 3 are there, and it applies to others. Why? One example would have been sufficient. Why so many examples? Aneka examples, why so? That is, Mrut, Lohadi, Aneka Drishtanta. Why so many examples there? One is enough, is it not? You know why? To deduce a rule. Because if you give one example, maybe some exceptional thing is the mud and the pot, which may not be applicable to other things. So no, this is the rule. For that, many examples are given, so that a vyapti means a rule can be formulated. What is the rule? Karana jnane karya jnanam bhavati. If you know the cause, you can know the effect. So that is what is important. To deduce that rule, Shruti gives this example. Yadyat karyam tasya tasya dhisvopadana buddhitaha. Iti vyaptim vivakshitva drishtanta bahava shrutaha. Anvaya, yadyat karyam tasya tasya dhihi svopadana buddhitaha, add bhavati. Svopadana buddhitaha bhavati. Second line as it is. Iti vyaptim vivakshitva drishtantaha bahavaha shrutaha. Om swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim maheshaha go brahmanebhyo bhavantu kale varshatu parjanya prativi sasya shalini deshoyam shobharahita brahmana santu nirbhayaha om sarve bhavantu sukhina sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om purnamada purnamidam purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.